I'm coming to you again this week from my living room. I have a very special announcement coming soon, but that's not what we're here to talk about. It's Christmas time. Oh, I just want y'all to see my cute tree. So I'm bearing gifts. So here we go. Gabrielle Union has been talking about her firing from America's Got Talent. That is unfortunate because, as she explains, she repeatedly told producers and talked to them about their wanting to change her image, that she didn't look so black with the cornrows and the afros and the ethnic hair and clothing. And she found it to be racist in nature, and ultimately when she brought about the complaint, she was fired. Orlando Jones was recently fired when he went out on a full tweet from American Gods, and he blamed racism. He actually said that the showrunner for the show was a man that was a Yale graduate, Connecticut born. He's emphasizing the fact that he's white, and that he did not like Orlando Jones' character, Anansi, who is a West African god who was about getting shit done. Their words, not mine. And so he said, the showrunner said that it was not the appropriate message for Black America. Now, to Orlando Jones' point, how would a Yale graduated, Connecticut born, white bread American man know about what's appropriate for Black America? I can tell you how that happens. They're also defined as subtleties of white supremacy. Meghan McCain was recently told by Whoopi Goldberg, girl, if you don't stop talking, Whoopi got real black. You know, blacker than usual. And she told her to cut it out. But Meghan McCain has the subtleness and embodies the epitome of white supremacy. But that's not really what I want to talk to you about, because those are the things you already know. And honey, what you don't need me to tell you is what you already know. Let's talk about what we don't know. Gabrielle Union spoke Monday to the power of exclusivity and women leading change. And that is a women empowerment group. And she said in that panel, she said she encouraged people, others is the word she used, to risk it all. Who are others? Risk what exactly? She goes on further to talk about how the zeros in her bank account are merely shackles. Well, honey, take them off her feet so she can dance. Because let me tell you what I find to be ridiculous. You know what I say? The truth don't care who tell it. I find it to be ridiculous in the same vein that I found it to be ridiculous about Monique asking Black America to boycott Netflix because she, as Black Hollywood, was not getting her just desserts. There seems to be a disconnect in part with Black Hollywood. Now, Orlando Jones has never tried not to be Black, but I haven't really seen him on the very front lines of the social issues that impact us. So we are quick as Black Americans to jump on bandwagons. I call them bandwagoners. We want to be the first to send our outrage. We want to be the one who gets all the likes and reactions from our post. But here's the truth of it. What is the plan when Gabrielle Union says she's going to continue to speak out against misogyny and racism for others? Speak out. How does that help somebody who's at Xerox or IBM? I haven't heard anything about IBM. I haven't heard anything about Xerox before y'all get all upset. Or AT&T or any of these other big conglomerates where we have Black Americans working every day in corporate America who are mistreated, abused, and misused on a regular basis. You know what we do? We learn to deal with it so we can continue a paycheck. Because the zeros in our everyday non-Black Hollywood, non-Black entertainer, non-Black sports, because you know she married to a Dwayne Wade, multi-million-dollar athlete. With our non-Black extra zeros in our bank account, we learn to deal with it. What we would need from Orlando Jones and Gabrielle Union and the Moniques of the world is a fund so we can go to the EEOC. When we get that right to sue letter, we can actually sue. See, here's what happens when you're black and you're being mistreated because of the color of your skin. It is very difficult to get an attorney. And the reason is because those attorneys that specialize in workplace abuse or sexual harassment in the workplace, they are a small pool. And it is hard to pull from that pool without the right amount of money. So here's the thing. These corporations will oftentimes outsource or outcontract for an attorney to represent them, a large firm. The large firms that have the financial wherewithal to actually defend little old you will not take your case, because if they have not previously represented one of these big companies, or even a small company, that, let's say, a small business that makes $2-3 million a year that can afford to pay the attorney's fees, they don't want to be out of the running. They don't want the conflict of interest. They would rather have someone in the company pay them to represent the company against you, because then that's continuous business. They are now, that company is now using that attorney, and that attorney is a representative of that company and cannot help little old you. So what happens is you get a right to sue letter and you have to use it in a year's time, but you don't have a year because it takes that long to find an attorney, and then your case, poof, magically goes away like Puff the Magic Dragon. So what do we need? We need a fund. We need help. I mean, yes, it's great that you're highlighting these things. And in Gabrielle Union's case, all the white actresses of Hollywood got behind her, and yes, they championed her, and woo, go girl. How does that help you? How is it that Black Hollywood, when they make millions of dollars, will ask someone who's barely a thousandaire to get involved? I find that to be oxymoronic language. I am not fluent in it, but I do recognize it when I hear it. I don't quite understand what it is, what the expectation is. See, Gabrielle Union was fired off of America's Got Talent, even though she really doesn't have any. I know y'all are going to get upset with me and you're going to fuss at me. Just leave a comment. And if you like what I'm saying, give me a thumbs up, a heart, a like. If you're watching me on Periscope, YouTube, or Facebook. And you can still comment as well. But here's the real deal about Gabrielle Union. She got an award, Fearless Leader Award. And in that speech, she talked about how she had been a person who rallied in receiving negative information about anyone that she thought was outshining her. In that same conversation that she had on the OWN show with Oprah Winfrey, Viola Davis, Felicia Rashad, she talks about how she would be hypercritical of Kerry Washington's performance in Scandal. This is all Googleable. This is not a Coyism. This is Googleable. You can Google it. So on the Oprah show, remember Fearless Leader Award, you can get to Gabrielle Union. And so I wasn't ever really a fan, because I think she has the same facial expressions and the same emotions regardless of the movie or whatever she's playing. And I find her to be very one-dimensional. But I know that you all like her, and that's fine. I'm certainly not trying to change your minds. I'm simply trying to open it up. And so with that being said, I'm not really a fan of Gabrielle Union. But when she says she encourages others to risk it all, and that the zeros in her bank account are simply shackles that you should be freed from, I think that's an easy statement to make when your husband is Dwayne Wade, a multi-million-dollar basketball star, superstar. I also think that it was very ironic that she made several of these statements while she was launching her new clothing line at New York & Company. Let's be honest about what's happening here. This is an opportunity to elevate her platform. This is not an opportunity for her to elevate you. She and others are merely talking, and so am I. Do what you want to with it. Diamonds, pearls, and Jerry curls. I'm making an announcement real soon. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. And I'm out. This is Coy with your Black Tea Sip.